We are finally on Apple Podcasts. Please look us up under Redonkulouspodcast. Subscribe and remember to give us a 5-star rating. It really helps us out and we really appreciate it. Now roll that intro music.
It's the Jeff and Annie and James Redonkulous Show. Yeah.
Awesome. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Redonkulouspodcast, where when life gets tough, we get redonkulous. Hanging out today is the Redonkulous team, myself, Jeff, and Annie,
Hi.
and James.
Hello, guys.
This is our series finale. This is our last episode, episode 13 of season 1. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, and Google Podcasts on Redonkulous Podcast.
And please follow us on Instagram. That's Redonkulous Podcast with no space. If you have any suggestions or comments, we would love to hear from you guys. Or please give us a call or text on our hotline. The number is 332-203-2449. Once again, it's 332-203-2449.
Today, we are joined by a blast from the past. One of our closest buddies. We hang out every other day. We used to get wasted all the time together. Yeah, please give it up. Mark.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
Hello,
It's been a
Mark.
while.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. We were really surprised because we mentioned your name a couple episodes back.
So back in the day, we just had nothing to do, and we would just take random car rides out. We would sneak out at night, and there was one night we went to Kings Park, abandoned. Can you explain? Yes, yeah, that's the word. And we didn't go in, but from the outside, it looked really creepy.
Yeah, so Annie was sharing the story on the podcast a couple episodes ago, and then a couple days later, you texted us that you already heard it.
I'm actually a big fan of podcasts in general. It's usually something I do at work when I have like downtime. But yeah, I came across it because, sometimes you get bored and you just start snooping through the internet and you bump into things randomly. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So I thought I would, give you a call since you threw out the invite.
Were you surprised to hear your name?
Extremely.
Okay, so now that you're on, why don't you finish that story? Is there an ending to that story?
Not so much that one. So I've been a couple of times. Most of it is pretty dull. It's super dark. Some places you can't even see like your hands in front of your face. The place is trash. It's filthy. The most, I guess, memorable time was we were going, just being dumb kids, snooping around, and we heard stuff like rattling and shaking of like some metal. Turned out it was a spray can, and we bumped into like skinheads who were just spray painting the whole place up. And we thought it was going to be a dangerous encounter, but they were cool and it was completely fine. We were just hyping it up for no reason.
What is
I wonder.
Skinhead?
A skinhead would be normally referred to as like a Nazi.
A Nazi?
A white person with shaved head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were exaggerating, obviously.
When you go to an abandoned place like this, if you hear noises, you don't know if it's something supernatural or just like a homeless dude hanging
Homeless
out
people
there.
are scary.
What were you searching for exactly?
Something to kill the boredom.
Speaking of killing the boredom, one of the first times, or one of the only times I've ever walked on railroad tracks was with Mark.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
That was so dangerous. I remember hearing stories about the railroad tracks. Don't step on the third railing.
It's all right. It's covered with a wooden plank.
That was actually the first time I snuck out of my house.
Really?
Yeah, we went on the railroad track.
Railroad tracks are always a good time.
So dangerous. Never again.
The thing about Mark is whenever you hang out with him, there's always going to be a story to tell. We used to drink outside in front of Durso's. Okay, we're parked there and we drank. I remember drinking with you for hours. And this, while I was going home, 6 a.m., I decided to stop by Annie's house
Oh, God.
to borrow her restroom. Her parents did not have a good first impression of me, I'll tell you that.
Look how far you made it.
You were the one that told me, no, I don't think it's a good idea. Don't go. And I was like, I'm going.
Coming from me, that's a bad idea.
You totally should have listened to him.
Butterfly effect. It might have changed everything.
If I didn't go that day, we probably would not be on this podcast today.
Maybe.
You're welcome.
Word of the day is abstruse. It's an adjective and it means difficult to understand. Let me give you guys a sentence. So, Dr. Bell is proficient in many fields of science and has the art of making every subject he touches interesting, even the most abstruse theories.
What does it mean again?
Difficult to understand. I'm guessing this word is a little abstruse to you.
Yeah. Based on our stories, adolescence or growing up is also very abstruse.
Jeff would become abstruse after getting hammered.
Even when I'm not hammered, I think I'm kind of difficult to understand. I always mix up words. Today I was trying to tell Annie, let's travel. But because I was driving, I said draveling. I miss draveling with you.
We'll be traveling soon.
Big 3-0 though. It's pretty wild.
Did you do anything crazy?
I took a nap.
I saw your mom made like a big birthday cake for you, right?
Oh, yeah, she made a Game of Thrones cake out of like fondant and stuff. She made the chair also. That was completely edible. But
Wow.
I decided to take my sister's hairspray and a lighter and burn it like the dragon in Game of Thrones.
Oh, but you were Drogon in this scenario.
Yeah, exactly. And the chair was an innocent bystander.
2 truths, 1 lie.
All right, so I'll be saying 3 statements. All right, first statement is I crashed my van into a street lamp. Second statement, I almost got into a fight with a black guy. And then third statement is I got cut while getting mugged.
You got cut
what?
while being mugged.
Yes.
Can you just clarify if situation 2 and situation 3 happened at the exact same time?
No, 2 different scenarios.
Oh, okay. So you almost got in a fight with a black man, and then the third situation was a non-black person, I'm assuming, and you got mugged.
Yeah, I was a white dude.
Interesting that you didn't point out that it was a white dude.
Doesn't add any excitement to the story.
What was the first one again?
Driving into a pole.
Yeah, into a street lamp.
Were you sober?
Yeah, I was sober like a year or 2 ago. It was snowing pretty bad. And then I was coming home from work and I made a pretty fast left turn. The van just slid on the turn and then I crashed into a street lamp.
That
But-
sounds believable.
There was a lot of snow. There was no damage to the car. Yeah, I got lucky. It was a soft crash into a pile of snow.
Did you have to call AAA?
No, I just kind of wiggled my way out. And then,
Back
it's like,
back and forth.
all right.
What about the second story? Tell us about
Yeah.
that.
What'd you do to the poor black man?
Yeah, I didn't do it. Well, actually, I did. So it was in junior high school. It was in the cafeteria. I kind of slightly bumped into him, and then he got so angry. This guy's on the basketball team, maybe a foot or 2 taller than me.
Oh, what's his name?
I don't remember. I don't really.
Oh, damn. We could invite him back onto the podcast. Get his side of the story.
I kind of bumped into him. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And then this guy just pushed me, and I just went flying. and I went flying. I slid on the floor, and then I hit my back. You know how they have the pillars in the cafeteria?
Yeah.
And then I just dropped
I'm
my
just
back.
thinking Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man when he was fighting Flash.
Yeah, so I went flying. I just like dropped my bag, got up in his face, and then just waiting for him to.
Oh, you're gonna fight.
Yeah, I was going to fight, but I didn't want to throw the first punch. So I was just in his face waiting for him to throw the first punch.
What a man. Okay.
And and then the security guard came, broke
Were you
us
like,
up.
thank God, thank God?
Oh yeah,
God for security guards.
definitely. This guy's like 2 feet taller than me.
He would have turned you into a basketball.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Space Jam?
Space Jam, yeah. All right, so the third one, a white dude mugged you.
Yeah, I went to Francis Lewis, and I was walking home after practice.
Was the white dude Mark? Was that his name?
Yeah. No, just
Gotta
kidding.
go, guys.
Marc and Anthony.
Mark in there.
Oh yeah, I was dying when I heard that.
Sorry about that, Mark.
No worries.
I got out of practice. I'm walking home. It's like 6 p.m. We usually get out of practice at that time. There's like a little bridge next to the gas station.
Yes.
So I'm walking. Yeah. So I'm walking under
Oh,
the
the
bridge.
underpass.
Yes, that's what it's called. Underpass.
Okay.
So I'm walking under the underpass, and then this white guy is coming across me, and then he just takes out his knife. And
What?
Yeah, I was so scared. First time dealing with a knife, and I just started running. He kind of slashed the knife on my shoulder. I just kept running home. I was
Did
so
you get hurt?
Yeah, it wasn't that bad though. It was like a small slash on my shoulder,
Did
and
he cut your skin?
Yeah.
And you didn't get it checked out?
I ran home, and then my parents looked at it, and it wasn't that bad. It was really small, and then
Was it like a puncture or a laceration?
not a puncture. It was like a
Like a cut? So like a laceration.
yeah, laceration, like a
So
cut.
no prison shank.
No,
No.
no. I was running, and he got my shoulder.
What was he
So-
trying to do? He was trying to stop you or what?
Yeah, he was trying to stop me and trying to catch me and take my wallet. I was running away.
That sounds like a lie.
I was like, BS to me. I didn't hear any run your pockets in the story.
I think the last one is a lie. Because we live around here, and I know that kind of stuff would happen, but just
It
seems
happens.
Happens.
Yeah.
Listen, I used to go to PS 173, which is my elementary school, and I used to play handball there. And even though I go so often, there are just guys who randomly hang around there, with their hoods on. And if you bump into them and you're alone, they'll ask you got money on you? That's happened to me before too. I didn't see a knife.
That happened with me while I was with Joe Cornetta and Christian Diaz. Listening to James talk, I have a lot of stories now that are coming in my head. We were going, I forgot if we're walking to or from Bay Terrace. It's pretty late, probably like 10 p.m. I want to say we were like 17-ish. And we were walking by, and then there's like these two kids at the corner, and they're just like, oh, you guys want to buy some trees or anything? And we're like, nah, we're good. And then they're like, come on, just take a look at what we got. And we're like, and we turn around, and then there's like 7 more kids. When I say kids, they're definitely older and like college, something. They look way older than us. And so we turn around, and then there's a lot more of them. And we're just like, well, this is happening. So my first instinct was to like book it, because back then I was pretty quick, but I didn't want to like ditch these guys. So I was like, all right, that's not an option. And they were like pretty much like grabbed us and like take a walk with us. And so we're walking down like a couple blocks, and it's just like, all right, empty your pockets. So we're like, giving like change. We didn't have money back then. So we're just like, whatever. I used to have a chain actually I used to wear. I gave that away. Never wore one again. They were like high-fiving each other. It was like really embarrassing at the moment, but there's nothing we can do,
Yeah.
And then they were like, all right, you guys are going to keep walking in that direction and don't look back. And so we just kept walking, and then it was like 4 blocks, and we're like, should we look back now? You think they're gone?
That's not too bad. I mean, you lost a chain and
quarters.
Also a lot of quarters.
And quarters. Oh man, think about all the parking
I think
you
it was
could have gotten.
$175 to ride a bus back then.
No, think about all the Taco Bell you could have eaten.
Ooh,
I know. Cheesy fisted potatoes. Ugh.
How much is that now? It's like a $1.25, I think.
It's still pretty cheap. It might be $1 still.
Oh, $1, I think.
Yeah. You could have got like 1.5 servings. So you two think that the last one's a lie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard a story regarding James's van before when it was really bad out. And I remember he just told me that he deserted the van and went back for it later.
Ooh.
So this doesn't
Oh.
sound like that story.
Is he taking a truth and bending it to a lie?
Yeah, so I don't know.
Actually, you know what? I think James knows that you know the story, so maybe, just maybe it's a lie.
I'm gonna go with the first one, guys.
Sticking with three.
I'll stick with 3.
All right, James,
Okay.
give us the
Yeah.
reveal. Give us the good stuff.
Yeah, so it was 3.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
High five, Annie.
Yay, high five.
All right, James. Time to tell us the truth. Whose story did you steal this time?
Yeah, so it's actually my story, but I didn't run away. I just gave him the money. When he pulled out the knife. I just opened up my wallet. I think I had like $10 there. Just gave him the $10, and then we parted ways.
Yeah.
What? Were you
You're richer.
scared?
Oh yeah, I was mad scared. I was like, oh, whatever you want me to do, here you go.
You were richer than Mark back in the day.
Probably than all three
$10?
of us back in the day.
Your
Could have
wallet?
bought Arby's.
What an
You
up.
could've- So statement number 1 actually happened. You hit into a street lamp and you wiggled your way out.
It really happened.
And the second scenario with the Spider-Man fight, that also happened.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
All right. Mark, what you got for us?
I got face planting on my way to work, spilling a spinach smoothie all over myself.
I can see that. Uh-huh.
Running from the cops, busting my car radiator on the LIE.
What does that mean?
In under the hood of your car, it has
Yeah.
a radiator. I crashed
Yeah.
and I broke it.
On the LIE.
Yeah.
Did anybody get hurt?
Nope.
What did you hit into?
Oh, the railing, the side railing.
Were
Side
you
rail.
sober?
I was.
So what the hell happened?
It was during I had the Jeep Cherokee back then, and it was during the that blizzard where they shut down the LIE. And I was actually on my way to Stony Brook to meet up with Tim.
That's real.
I'm pretty sure I've heard this story. So what was the first one again? You busted your ass and you spilled a smoothie all over yourself.
Yeah, so that one.
What flavor? What flavor smoothie was it?
It was spinach. It was all green, and I was wearing a white shirt.
Spinach.
Wow.
You drink
Okay, that's a
spinach?
lie.
It was spinach and mango. All right, if you want details, but it's green. I live in
Mango.
a second floor apartment, so I just go down the stairs, and I had the smoothie and with no cap, and I'm just like juggling everything, and I slipped, and went head first into the floor, and my whole shirt was green.
Spinach smoothie. You've changed, Mark.
I know.
I can't bring whiskey to work anymore.
Oh wow, so you made the smoothie.
No, I didn't make it. Holly made it. My wife.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
Mm.
she's keeping you healthy.
Trying.
Try.
I'm drinking a beer right now.
Nice. So what beer are you drinking? That was not the question I was asking. And then my mind kind of like, you said beer.
Priorities.
So the second one was what?
Right from the cops.
What happened
What
there?
happened there?
So growing up, I used to live next to Chris Partita, and we used to make it a habit to go into like construction sites and just like fuck around. Then we got older, and then we were gonna bring everyone in to drink at one of these construction sites. So I bring the first half in, and they're idiots, so they start playing with all the lights and everything, and making a bunch of bringing a bunch of attention towards the site. I tell everyone to pipe down, and we give it a little bit. I go out to call Chris to be like, hey, tell everyone to come over, and we start drinking and everything. And as I'm on the phone in the front of the apartment, cops just pull up and just raid the place.
Oh.
Yeah,
That sounds.
How many
just
cop
ran.
cars?
a lot. Like paddy wagons, more than 3, like the
Oh
whole nine.
wow.
Yeah, and one of the cops grabs me and he's just like, "You weren't in this house?" I was like, "No, I swear." And he's like, "All right, we'll see." And then they pull out like everybody. My friends get like posted up against like the walls and stuff, and I'm just like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening." And so I push the cop and I just run away.
I thought you casually walked 4 blocks without looking back and then ran.
Not this time.
Hmm. That sounds like a real situation.
That reminds me of another cop scenario. And Mark, you were there too. It was a rainy night, and it was me, you. Christian was there, but he decided not to climb up with us. It was
I know the
near
story.
your old
Oh,
place.
Christian with the cat?
Yeah.
Yes, Christian was the innocent, well, as innocent as you can be
God.
in this scenario, and he got pulled in as an accomplice because he was playing with a cat in front of the building. I felt so bad.
You were giving him so much shit for that cat.
The night before it was raining, right?
Mhm.
So we climbed up because we were in Queens, New York, and if we climbed up this was it apartment building? You remember?
Yeah, the fire escape.
Yeah, if we climbed up that and got to the roof, you get to see the World Trade Center.
Yeah, you could see everything, the whole city and everything. Chris and I used to do
Yeah.
that, like smoke up there.
Not only did we not make it up there, one of the outer doors were open,
Yeah.
and also rooftop, it was completely wet from the rain. We ended up calling it. We decided not to do it. We got down. As we're walking towards my car that I parked around the block, 3 cop cars just pulled up. I've never experienced anything like that.
Sorry.
Yeah,
You guys
but
got summons that day, right?
We might have.
yeah, these summons that don't make any sense. They're so abstruse. So what do you guys think? You guys have any questions for Mark? You guys think that's the police story is true?
I think it's true.
Yeah, something Mark would do.
I remember him telling me a story about him running away from a cop.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people, so I don't think he'll feel bad leaving them behind. You know, every man for themselves.
I didn't leave Christian and Joe. Bay Terrace midnight.
Right, yeah, that's like 2 of you guys, but this is like a bunch of people, so.
Damn, James, so heartless. All right, so what do we think is less believable? The spinach smoothie sounds kind of nuts to me.
That's a lie. The face planting and then the spinach smoothie on yourself. Yeah, how do you face plant though?
Going down the stairs.
I
Yeah.
can tell you. I can probably show you.
So we think the Stony Brook story is true.
Yeah, I think the story was, but it's kind of hard to bust a radiator hitting a railing. So how'd you hit that railing?
So since I had a Jeep and I'm used to driving my Neon, and I was like, oh, I'm a god in the snow now. Look at this 4-wheel drive.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going like 65 in the blizzard. They closed down the LA, so there's no traffic. I'm just like speeding down, and then the car just slowly is like drifting sideways, and I'm like, oh, this is not good. This is not good. This is not good. And
Oh my
after
God.
a couple like fishtails, I eventually just hit the fucking railing.
Oh.
car
Were
over
you by yourself?
No, I was with 3 other people.
They closed the LIE and you just decided, hey, I'm just going to go to the LIE.
I like to break rules. This
Yeah.
snack's not gonna stop me.
I think we're seeing that trend in this episode already. Okay,
So
the
basically,
radiator.
the car started overheating, so I would have to, on my way back home, because we obviously didn't make it to Stony Brook, so I would have to pop the fucking hood and then throw snow on to cool it down, and then keep going. It was a long ride home.
How often did you have to do that?
Every couple blocks.
Oh,
out of here.
wow.
Let's just say it took like an hour and a half to get home, and I wasn't even that far out.
Oh, wow. Oh, so it was leaking engine coolant.
It might have been. I don't know. It was freezing.
How much did it cost you to get that fixed?
It was too much, so we traded the car out. It was 1995 Grand Cherokee. Not Grand Cherokee, Cherokee 4x4.
I think I remember that car.
Yeah, I used to take it, and we used to go places all the time with it.
All
We used to
right.
go to like what is it, Cyberland, and like just Mexican
God,
throw people in the
Cyberland.
trunk.
We think the Spanish story is a lie.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I mean, everything is like very extreme except for the spinach story.
Who the hell drinks a spinach smoothie? Come on, Mark.
Well, the spinach smoothie is true,
Oh.
except for the face planting part. So you guys got it.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
I did spill it all over myself on my way down the stairs.
Serious hypotheticals.
An asteroid large enough to cause a global catastrophe is headed towards Earth in 1 month. What would you do with the time you have left? So we got 1 month.
Does everyone know about this, or just you or us?
Oh, that's a good question.
It'll be more interesting if we only knew.
All right, I'm hitting up Walmart.
Max
Walmart
out your
has
credit card,
everything.
man.
Yeah, they got weapons. They got more weapons. They got food.
Is the asteroid going to destroy the Earth, or just like part of the
Yeah,
planet?
so global catastrophe, does it mean the whole world is going kaput, or is it just part of the world?
Yeah, because also you gotta think about like Armageddon.
Yeah. I already know what Americans are gonna do. Us Americans, we don't give a crap about anything. If it was happening on this side of the world, we're just like, it doesn't concern us.
Yeah, build the wall.
I was thinking, if it was gonna happen to Asia, maybe I'll just go visit Asia. And say, oh, I'm never gonna see you guys again.
Why would you go visit there? What if they find out while you're there and they close all transportation out?
And then I'm screwed.
Oh.
But I get to die in Singapore. Singapore has the largest indoor waterfall in the airport. I want to see that before it's gone.
It's very nice. Are you taking your family with you?
Would you guys want to see it if you knew, let's say, somewhere you've always wanted to travel was going to get hit by the asteroid? Would you go, or you just Google it and, I've been there?
That's what I do now. I just Google
I
everything.
think I want to go once at least before
I
it's
would
gone.
go.
Yeah.
All right, you guys have 1 month though. How long would you go? Like a week?
Depends on where. We can go to China, and then we can go to Taiwan, and Taiwan, your homeland is gonna
Yeah,
be
my family's there.
destroyed. Or Japan, or Singapore.
This is how selfish we are. We haven't even considered how maybe we can save humanity.
We'll be
Like
fine.
maybe I can help some way to divert the asteroid.
Maybe I
Come
could
up with
tell
a
somebody.
Nope, I'm going to Asia.
I'm gonna keep this information to myself and go on a vacation.
Gotta look at the largest indoor waterfall in Singapore.
This is so beautiful. Sucks to be you guys. See ya.
Yeah.
So what if it's hitting the U.S.?
Does that include Hawaii?
Yes.
Hawaii.
Damn it. What about Canada?
Really? You think the asteroid is that specific? Only gonna hit the U.S.
They're nice people. They don't deserve this.
It's getting too complicated. What if it's gonna destroy the whole planet?
Oh, then there's no reason to do anything.
Throw that spinach smoothie out the window. Grab that beer. Grab
Amen.
that whiskey.
Just eat anything you ever wanted to eat.
I do that now.
I like that. You're living life like an asteroid's gonna hit in 1 month.
Yeah,
Respect.
exactly. You never know what's gonna happen.
What would you guys do? I know, Mark, you mentioned the zombie apocalypse. Oof.
Oh yeah, I'm prepared.
Hit Walmart.
Hit Walmart.
Wait, Walmart sells weapons?
They do.
Yeah, if you worked at Walmart and some dude randomly walks in and goes, "Excuse me, where are your weapons?"
Walmart's the spot. Did you see that picture of the guy who bought like the Walmart vest like off eBay? He's like, Black Friday's not gonna know what hit them.
Oh snap! Did it work? He
I
pulled it
don't
off.
know. I hope so.
That'd be pretty awesome. Black
Yeah.
Friday is so hectic. No one's checking.
I'm surprised people don't just shop online.
That's what I did.
Me too.
Nice.
What did you
Yes.
buy?
Nothing.
I bought a
Bought a lot of
handbag.
stuff.
I
Here
bought
we go.
I bought Christmas presents. I bought
Oh,
shoes. What else did I get? Things for Nicholas.
Let's put this in perspective. So
okay.
usually when she buys stuff, she'll give me a heads up. She'll let me know. But usually it's just she'll buy it. She got up to the point where she looks over at me and she goes, "Is it okay if I buy this?" That's how much she's bought.
It's getting out of hand.
Yeah.
You gotta call your credit card company.
Where's your wallet?
I need your credit cards too.
All right, James, Annie, what would you guys do in this situation?
I'll go visit my family in Korea.
Okay, we're just gonna continue being selfish.
Yeah, I mean, the world's ending in a month. Just go experience as much things as I can before the world comes to an end.
Even for the zombie apocalypse.
No, he would be the zombie.
It also depends what kind of zombies. Are they like the slow zombies or like World War Z, where they're like relentless?
I hope it's the slow ones.
The slow ones would not be scary.
If they were slow zombies, it would never become anything big.
Not a huge threat.
Yeah, it would be like taken care of immediately.
Right. And all the people who don't survive, unlucky, or they shouldn't be alive anyway.
Exactly.
Oh.
Survival of the fittest. Weed them out.
Yeah, rule number 1, cardio. Come on. Imagine you're running away and then you face plant, you got spinach all over yourself, and then you get bit.
That would suck.
That would really suck. I kind of want to go back. I really like Mark's point. He mentioned that you should live like there's no tomorrow. You don't know what's going to happen. Maybe we'll be a lot happier in general if we lived life that way, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
Mark is a badass. He does whatever he wants.
That's
whenever
not
he
true.
wants.
Don't say that. You're going to get me in trouble.
You eat whatever you want. Sounds like the
Drink
life.
whatever you want. You
To an
ship
extent.
kids wherever you want, you know?
Times I've had enough. I'm just kidding.
If the world is gonna end, I'll probably just spend time with my family. Go from place to place and do like a road trip.
Like what James wanted to do, except with everyone.
Yeah, with everyone. Do a family road trip. Nobody has plans anyways.
I also want to go skydiving.
Have you been?
No, I haven't been.
Let's
I wanna
go.
Yeah?
I gotta go a couple more times and then I can go by myself.
Oh
Get out
wow.
Whoa.
Wait, so you've been skydiving before?
Yep, a few times.
Oh.
We've been to the indoor one. They have a huge tube. It's a simulation, so you can actually get the
Oh,
feeling.
just blow like air at you.
skydiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never done that. That seems cool though.
I fly.
Oh
I
yes.
fly. You made what, 6 or 7 jumps already, I'm assuming?
No, 3.
How many do you have to go before you can do it by yourself?
You can take a class and then you don't have to take as many. But if you want to do wingsuit jumping, which is kind of what I want to do,
Yes, I want to go wingsuit jumping.
that stuff's awesome.
Oh God, please no.
Oh, but you know what also I want to do? That's on my bucket list that I never did. Paramotoring. So paramotoring is basically a backpack with a huge fan on your back, and you have a parachute that's open already. And basically, the parachute's all laid out, and it's like strapped to you like normal. And
Are you on
lift
water?
No, you're on land, and you lift it up to catch the wind, and your propeller on your backpack is already on. It's a huge single propeller, and it's already on. And then you basically go with the wind, and you run, and then you hit the gas, and you just let it take you off. Just look up
So you're-
YouTube videos for
Are you a
paramotoring.
human kite? Is that what you are?
Basically, yeah, you're legit flying.
Wow.
Sitting down flying. It's amazing.
I've never been good at flying kites. I'm probably just gonna crash.
You might. You gotta know like the wind direction and all that stuff.
Where have you been going to skydive?
Long Island. I think it's in Farmingdale. What's it called? No, Farmingdale's where I flew a plane. The Long Island one,
Whoa.
it's called. What is it called? It might just be called Long Island skydiving.
You flew a plane
Yeah, a few times also.
by yourself?
Well, I had an instructor, but yeah, by myself. I've landed a plane by myself. I've taken off by myself.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Can
I
you
brought
fly
a.
us to Florida?
So you have to get like 40 hours, I think, before you can get like your pilot license. I only have 5.
Damn, dude, get those 35 hours. I want to go to Florida.
Yeah, I've been slacking on everything.
Well, at least you experienced it.
What's it feel like flying a plane?
It's a lot easier than driving a car.
I was
Wow.
just gonna say it's probably like driving a car in the air and no traffic.
Yeah, exactly. And like, so you don't have to worry about really anything. You know, you just go. So I took my mom one time also. Each course I think is an hour. You go in, they make you watch a video, and they teach you stuff. When you're on the ground, to turn the plane left and right, you have 2 pedals, and you gotta like use them simultaneously to turn left and right with your legs. That part's a little weird. The first time I landed, it was very, very rough landing. It wasn't good.
Were you scared at all?
Not really. 'Cause, I mean, you know, you got an instructor. He knows what he's doing. He has the same controls as you, so he can just take over.
So did you have to do like simulation before you actually do it, or you just jump straight into the plane?
They have one, but I didn't have to do it. They do have a simulation. I think it was broken when I went.
Oh, yeah. Simulation is broken, so let's go jump straight into the real thing.
No better way to learn, hands-on.
Oh yeah.
Must be a nice view.
It is, yeah. Oh, actually, skydiving though is the nicest view. You would think it's very windy and like loud and stuff, but it's actually super quiet and calm.
What about your face? Is it like flapping in the wind?
So I didn't take video of like myself doing it, but I've seen videos of other people doing it, and that's what it looks like. But it doesn't feel like it.
I was watching this YouTube video and they did a fashion show where they were skydiving. They were doing a fashion show in the air, and all the models basically skydived. They jumped off the plane, and that's how they were doing the fashion shoot.
Now come to think of it, I'm pretty sure there's a porn of people skydiving.
What?
I thought I seen it all with the fashion show, but I guess not. I mean, how long are you in the air?
Not long at all.
Do you kind of feel like Superman, where when you're up there, you just see everything from above? Because there was a time, I think it was in Coney Island. I was with Jeff, and then we went on like a slingshot ride. Basically, it's like a ball. We're sitting there, and then it just brings you up.
That's the one you have to
And
pay
that was-
for it, right?
Yeah, the one you have to pay for. And then there was like a second or two where you're just kind of floating up in the air, and then you can just see the whole park from above. Well,
I
kind
don't
of
think
like,
that's how Superman feels. The the flying squirrel suit that Mark was talking about earlier, where you're in the wingsuit,
Mhm.
that would probably be the closest a human being can come to flying.
Except you can't do the Superman move or you'll die.
Exactly. Don't do the Superman move. You will die. It's a dream. Hey, if an asteroid is coming in a month, you got to do it.
I guess. Maybe you're the asteroid.
Yeah, maybe I am the asteroid.
Minimal
All right, Mark.
impact.
When are we going next week?
So the first time you jumped out of the plane, were you scared?
No.
Really?
Get out of here. I don't believe that. Come
'Cause
on.
I had the guy, like, because you go like tandem, so the dude's like literally behind you and you're hooked up to him. And he was like talking to me, he's like, I've done this like 10,000 times. And I was like, is that like a sarcastic, like a exaggerated number? And he was like, no, I've really done it like 10,000 times. The first time I went with my sister, and then I went with my cousin, and then I went by myself.
This is what I hear they do. I heard the story on YouTube, and then I went on Reddit. When I was on Reddit, people have confirmed that some places do this. If you go in groups to go skydiving, the first person, second person would go and it's fine. But the third person or fourth person would jump out, and then the guy would pretend that's the parachute that didn't work.
Yeah. I went
wow,
with a
that's
guy.
fucked up.
I went with a guy who's mad funny the whole time, and then we already like deployed the parachute though, and he like did like a lean back thing where it felt like you weren't like the parachute wasn't holding you. It was kind of like a free fall for a second because we went so like far back, and that kind of scared me. And he did it on purpose. He's like, "You're ever nervous and stuff?" I was like, "Nah, it's fine. You know, everyone's like really cool, and I feel comfortable with you guys all the time." He's like, "All right." And then he pulled that shit.
I love how you're just so chill. No, I'm flying with the pilot. He knows what he's doing.
Well, I mean, like, might as well enjoy it than like worry about something that might not happen. And if it does happen, you'll be dead, and it doesn't matter anyway.
That's true. If you're flying that airplane and the radiator goes out, there's no snow that you can throw on it. So you're done.
Emergency crash landing into the water next to Fire Island.
Straight into the zombie apocalypse.
It's a good thing we hit up Walmart.
All right, so we talked Friendsgiving. Is there anything you guys want to share that you're thankful for? No? Okay, moving on. How was the Irishman? I've heard some people didn't really like it because it felt kind of like a slow grind. The pace was very slow. But without giving too much spoilers away, like how was it? Did you watch it in theaters or did you watch it on Netflix? And what were your thoughts?
I watched it on Netflix. I liked it a lot. My coworker saw it in theaters, and he said it was phenomenal. He's gonna go watch it again in theaters. But when it came out on Netflix, that was like one of the first things I wanted to do as soon as it came out. The first night, Holly and I were gonna try and watch it, but I was really exhausted, and it's over 3 hours. So we started watching it, and I knew I was not gonna make it. Not that it was like a boring movie. It's just because I was like, look, I'm not going to give this movie the full commitment that it deserves. So I cut it short, and then I watched it again. It was really good. Just got to make sure you have the time to watch it.
What I've noticed is that we basically watch movies in parts. And the last couple of movies we watched, we never finished it in one sitting. And we've actually had It Chapter 2 that we still have about 25 minutes that we still didn't watch.
just bang it out real quick.
Yeah.
25 minutes.
So The Irishman was really good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It's very well done, and the graphics I have to say, because like the what is it called, like
they de-aged a lot of the main people.
Yeah, that stuff is very impressive.
Yeah, I watched the scene, and Robert De Niro looked really good.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff. Go watch it. I hope they sponsor you guys.
All right, I think that wraps us up for today. Once again, Mark, thank you so much for your support, listening to the podcast. Also, thank you very much for coming on to the show, man. It means a lot, and it was so fun recording this episode.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun. Miss you guys.
I know. I'm not kidding. We got to go skydiving or even just flying. You got to fly us to Florida.
I got like 35 more hours I have to work on.
All right, come on. What are you doing? We got a month left. Let's go.
You guys can go skydive. I'll just wait for you guys on the.
All right, not to be Jeff's skydiving buddy.
Again, this is our season 1 finale. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you guys so much for listening. We do have some stuff in the works. Our highlight episode of season 1 is going to be coming out next week. We have some exciting stuff planned for season 2. Check in. We're going to be dropping some merch also. That's going to be going live. Mark, thank you so much for coming on. We got to hang out soon. And everybody, remember, stay redonkulous.
Peace. It's the Redonkulous Podcast, starring Annie and Jeff and my coolest guy in the world, whose name is James. It's Redonkulous.
Please hit the like and subscribe button.